Look at this blooming beauty behind me. This is the Jerusalem Artichoke. It's a species of sunflower that's native to North America. It's also known as Sunroot, Sunchoke, and wild sunflower. It grows all throughout the United States and through Canada. Grow it for food, grow for flowers, grow it in the ground or grow it in the container. In this video, I'll share what variety we grow and what variety didn't make it out here. I'll explain what I learned about this plant. I'll also give you insight on what I would do differently, lessons learned. At the end of the video, I'll show you how I harvest it, cook it, and I'll show you my family eating it for the first time. That's going to be an unfiltered, unbiased feedback.
This is delicious.
That's unbelievable.
We're keeping it real. Welcome to Happy. We're going to take it up a notch. Be a slightly different ball. I'm curious to know if I'm going to get right down here. You can see that ladybug larvae. Pull the thing down like a monkey. Sunchoke really is the most common name for this Jerusalem artichoke, but think of Jerusalem artichoke as a sunflower plant where you can eat the roots and you can enjoy this incredibly vigorous growth and amazing flower production. Also, quick note, don't confuse the Jerusalem artichoke with the globe artichoke. Those are two different plants. Red Rover is the variety of Jerusalem artichoke that we grow. Years back, I planted a full-blown native Jerusalem artichoke. It did not flower anywhere near as vigorous as the Red Rover, and it stopped growing back after a couple years. So Jerusalem artichoke is a perennial. She grows up in spring, she does her thing, flowers in late summer, dies off to the ground, the root stage is perfectly fine over winter, and she's to go through that cycle year after year. As the roots expand in the ground, you get more and more growth. Right here is ground zero. This is where a 1-gallon pot was planted almost 2 years ago to the day. Over the years, we introduced some ornamental plants to get more colored. This plant way outperforms the brown-eyed Susan here on this property. This is a plant where we can just count on these beautiful, gorgeous flower production. And the other thing I learned just this year is that the groundhog doesn't eat this girl, and it devastates that brown-eyed Susan. This girl grows in zones 3 to 9, so that's how we know it'll do just fine in Canada and it'll do just fine in Florida. How's that for diversity? There isn't a single, well, there is a little bit of a weird munch right there, but otherwise there is absolutely no insects, really no munching, disease and pest free. And we had this nuclear heat this year. I threw down water on this girl 2 times because I knew she was going to go into that flowering thrust. I think she could have done just fine with absolutely zero water. And we had absolutely horrible nuclear heat for 2 months this year, 2024. She did just fine. She wants full sun and absolutely thrives in high organic soil. She thrived a little too well. And that's a perfect segue to what I would do differently. So the one thing that I didn't realize is just how vigorous this plant was. In my mind, I was thinking of the Jerusalem Artichoke 1.0, the full-blown native that I grew. It didn't really expand, it didn't really thrive. So I planted Jerusalem Artichoke, the Red Rover, 2 years ago right next to this bush cherry that I have, and I realized by a year later just how far the tubers had expanded through the rich soil. So lesson learned, be very careful with the Red Rover Jerusalem Artichoke. It spreads very, very quickly. This girl would do just fine in a container, or she needs to be on the peripheral of your property. Keep in mind, Jerusalem Artichoke grows in full sun. These stems are going to die off in late fall, early winter. No worries about that. Remember, she's a perennial. The roots will come back in the following spring. But the die-off is a signal that the cold weather has arrived, and that's when the roots are ready to harvest. From what I've read and from what I experienced, harvesting the roots after the first frost is optimal. So you just cut these stems off in late fall, and harvest the roots. You do that with gently with a shovel, or you can do that with a pitchfork. You just got to loosen the soil so you don't cut the tubers and then harvest them. You want to do that after the first frost. The roots, also known as tubers, have excellent nutritional and medicinal qualities. 1 cup provides a lot of iron and potassium. It's also a good source for copper, magnesium, and phosphorus. It's also very potent in fighting against type 2 diabetes. I provide a link to those studies on my webpage. This webpage also gives you a grow guide and leads you to recipes. Personally, I harvest the largest roots, scrub them lightly, and steam them until soft. They steam much quicker than the potato. The roots have this amazing buttery texture to it, so you don't need a whole bunch of butter. Light salt, light pepper, and you're absolutely good to go with this. Now this video is going to show you my family's unbiased tasting of Jerusalem artichoke. We're going to try raw and we're going to try it steamed, and their marching orders is no BS. We're a no BS channel. 3 individuals tasting Jerusalem artichoke for the first time, and I'll let them tell you just how tasty Jerusalem artichoke root is. So I just brought Heppy to Southern California. We got beautyberry, persimmon, Jerusalem artichoke, kiwi, and jujube. And these are the guinea pigs.
Okay, we're ready.
Well, let's do Jerusalem artichoke. We got it steamed, but this is raw. Sis, what do you think about raw Jerusalem artichoke? This variety is called the Red Rover.
You gotta wait till your turn, because you're not on camera yet.
Oh, delicious, yeah. It did. So different. It's almost like in a kohlrabi, right?
Kohlrabi, potato, maybe turnip, somewhere in there.
Okay,
And I like the
I'm not
crunchiness
waiting.
of it.
Let's see what the chef thinks.
A really earthy kind of a kohlrabi flavor. That's what I'm getting.
Kohlrabi.
Yeah, hint of potato,
Yes.
kohlrabi, earthy. A very, hey, if you're a gardener and salt of the earth food, baby.
Yeah.
Anyone tasting juicy carrot, that's what comes to me. Juicy carrot?
Carrots in there too.
Okay. This has been steamed for 10 minutes. That's it. And we use some beautyberry as dressing. Steamed Jerusalem artichoke with salt and pepper dressed with beautyberry.
Small piece. Yes.
No, that's night and day between raw and cooked.
Yes.
This
Delicious.
is delicious.
That's unbelievable.
That's
Unbelievable
Buttergraaf. Yeah,
flavor.
that is
It's like
Buttergraaf.
this.
Ne? This is wonderful.
What
yes.
a delicate, light hint of sweet flavor, buttery. Well, I know it's got butter on it, but very delicious. I could eat a whole plate of that. That is delicious.
It's delicious.
You get the raw stuff out of here, and let's just be cooking this now. Unbelievably good.
Yes. yes.
Well, are you leaving any for me?
No, hell no.
No, no,
Nice.
not with your mother.
You gotta go back home, bro.
I hope you learned a thing or two about the Jerusalem artichoke and the Red Rover variety. This is one that gives you these high ornamental qualities and a highly nutritional root. It's a special treat, especially for Thanksgiving. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone else if you can. Love you.